We're talking about the market, what you guys are seeing. What are you kind of projecting for this coming year? I mean, obviously we're coming up to finish Q1 of 2024 and next week or this week. What are you guys projecting for your regions and for the Canadian market as a whole?
I hear
Um,
coming up this year, like even like the numbers of how many mortgages are renewing this year and how many clients of mine are renewing and saying, panicking. I've calculated my mortgage is going to be this, wanting to already think about, okay, let's look at something cheaper. So I think when all of that happens and a lot of renewals come up, that could obviously put panic in some people's minds of needing to make a move. I think the market's already trending upwards a little bit in terms of activity. Obviously, when there's more activity, somebody sets a new benchmark price for the street. I don't think prices are going to fly off the handle by any means, but springtime is typically busier, and I'm definitely noticing that from, October to February, and then now just how busy I even feel.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that we're gonna go up a little bit and then kind of trend down like this. I think we're gonna see like a little hump and then go back down, just in terms of activity for sure. And then paired with, they're projecting the rate decrease in June. I thought that was a little bit like Cortez and I predicted that won't happen till the end of the year, but now that inflation came in, what was it, 2.8? Now
Mhm.
I guess that's the projection. So I think that buyers that have been on the sidelines for a long time, they think, okay, the minute rates start coming down, people are going to come back out. And that's a typical belief to have, right? I need to get in. I need to get in before rates start coming down, because if I choose a variable rate, I can get a better price and then my mortgage will come down naturally. So I think and there always has been that FOMO. And given even when we look at what keeps buyers on the sidelines the most, it's not even unaffordability, it's economic uncertainty, which came in above an affordability in terms of what has kept a buyer not entering the market. So, I mean, it's been this way for a long time that it's people, this is the reality now, rather than the shock of the interest rates going up slowly, that people are like, I can't do anything until I know what's going on. So I think the pent up demand over the past year of people sitting on the sidelines, and paired with the idea that rates will start to come down, is just getting people looking at the market again. So I think activity is going to continue trending upwards for sure. I'm already crazy busy. I think spring is just going to continue to
Hmm.
be busy.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Chris.
I think like even at the beginning of the year, I was on this big train of like maybe we'll see two rate cuts, and so far I've been bang on in terms of not seeing one early. Like all these realtors were pumping the market. Yeah, they're going to cut rates for sure, and you know, I, prices are going to shoot to the moon again. Like get in today, get in today, and I hate that kind of that stuff. I think you got to look at stuff very analytically and provide legitimate data to support it, other than just like what you heard at the office cooler.
Mhm.
So, like, what we're seeing is, yeah, we saw inflation come down, which I was surprised because the US inflation went up and we're coming down, which is a little bit strange. But what's really happening is the US economy is chugging along. They have great GDP per capita, and Canada's GDP per capita absolutely sucks. It's in the drain. The only reason why we have GDP that's remotely good is because we mask it with a ton of immigration. And when you have a ton of immigration, you have more people spending because obviously they need to go buy clothes, they need to buy furniture, they need a place to live. Anyways, this could be a whole different podcast if I really got into it. But
Mhm.
I think the market is just going to trade more flat as things go along. The only thing that always scares me is the irresponsibility of the federal government right now and their immigration policy. Like, who knows what they plan on doing? Like, they keep saying they're going to cut back, and that's just because they've gotten such a horrible rep and their polls are down so much. But I do think we will see a decrease in non-permanent residents, in students, as well as immigration, and that'll alleviate some pressure from the system. But we have so much pressure right now that could be a 5 year thing. Like, that
Mhm.
could be a very long term thing. I think that Tiff Macklin should really consider not doing a rate cut this year. I think he should hold rates because I just think that although there's a lot of renewals coming up, putting fuel on this
I
real
agree.
estate market is not a smart thing to do based on affordability and based on our younger population who are living paycheck to paycheck, who aren't investing in their TFSAs, who can't get in the market, who aren't having children. What you should really do is you should incentivize young people to build families. And rather than just immigrating all these people, you should say, okay, how do we get young Canadians to actually get into the market? How do we get young Canadians to have children and be productive in society? Because all you're going to have is people say, I don't want to live in Toronto anymore. I'm going to go to Calgary. And then you're going to have people in Calgary say, I don't want to live in Canada anymore. I want to go to another country.
Yeah.
And then you're just losing all this talent that Canada's built up over a long period of time. So my long-winded answer is, I think Canada is losing its desirability, not just from domestic people, but foreigners. And I think that the market will trade sideways for the next little bit. It'll probably beat inflation. It'll probably be a good store of value going forward. Like, you really can't go wrong unless we see some major 2008 crash. But yeah, that's kind of where I project things going.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, because we'd really like that.